What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Mansa XP, or welcome if it's your first time here. It's your boy Mansa, and today we're going to be talking about the first big release for 2024, and that is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Now, review embargoes did go up yesterday, and we got to see a lot of reviews for the game coming out, and it scored around an 86 on PlayStation 5, which is where most of the reviews were, and it got an 88 on Nintendo Switch at the time of this recording. Now, Prince of Persia, for people that don't know, is a long story franchise by Ubisoft, and a lot of people were kind of on the fence when they saw that it was going to be that 2D or 2.5D style of game. Everybody's been looking for Sands of Time and 3D Prince of Persia games and things like that, but a lot of people were very surprised just looking at the reviews. So we can see that it had 61 positive reviews and then just one mixed review, so that's very good. That means most of the reviews were in 75 or above, and then there was 160. So we're going to go through a few of these reviews and kind of see what everybody's saying about the game, but it does seem to be that people are delighted with the game. Now, before we get into all that, please make sure you guys do like, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and please leave a comment on this video and let me know how we did on the video. Now, just a little background on the game. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown introduces a hero named Sargon, a young member of a warrior clan named the Immortals. Sargon must travel to the cursed city of Mount Koth to rescue the kidnapped Prince Ghassan. Now, it says dash into a stylish and thrilling action-adventure platformer game set in a mythological Persian world where the boundaries of time and space are yours to manipulate. Another deterrent for some people was the fact that you are not playing as the prince, but it seems that based on these reviews that didn't matter when it came to the reviewers. They just enjoyed the story for what it was. So we can start with the first review from the Serto, which gave the game a 10 out of 10, and they said, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is an absolute triumph, charting the future for this fallen franchise. Here's hoping it finds its audience, because it would be a tragedy to have something this good lost to time once again. So some pun intended there on that review. But they're pretty much saying, like, yeah, it's a great game. Well, perfect by their standards with the 10 out of 10. And they hope that, this springboards the franchise to keep going and not, disappear into irrelevancy. Next up, we got a review from Playsense, which gave the game a 9.5. And they said, the combat system, the audio-visual part, the boss fights, the controls, the performance, the enemies, everything there is to mention about Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is excellent. This is the best Prince of Persia game to date and a brilliant addition to the genre. Fan of Metroidvanias or the Persian Prince, you must play this game. So high praise from them, saying that this is the best Prince of Persia game to date. I think few people will, have some debate on that, but hey, that's their opinion. Now, moving on to Game Informer, who also gave the game a 9.5. They said, The Lost Crown makes it hard to put the controller down, constantly urging players to follow its path just a little further. Following its persistent pull to explore Mount Koth is easy, though, thanks to how good it feels to do so. Between its first-rate platforming and engaging combat and progression, the Lost Crown's various parts coalesce into a sublime loop. Gameplay is king, and the Prince of Persia understands that. Yeah, I've heard this in other reviews. I watched a few video reviews, and they said the same thing. Like, the platforming is really good. The combat is very silky smooth, especially with this game running at, 60 frames per second, even on a Nintendo Switch, and then even up to 120 frames on PlayStation and also Xbox. So, good stuff there. Then we move on to Noisy Pixel, who gave the game a 9 out of 10. They said, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is an unapologetically stylish and sleek Metroidvania action-adventure that boasts magnificent movement and brilliant boss design. Aside from setting itself apart from other entries in the Prince of Persia series, it also stands toe-to-toe with some of the genre's giants. While the narrative isn't comparatively engrossing, this one-of-a-kind journey will undeniably satisfy both beginners and veterans of the franchise. The never-mundane gameplay loop, full of ceaseless reward and discovery, is one that shows clear, meticulous thought poured into it. At its core, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown redefines what Prince of Persia can bring to the table and proves that it can still shine in the modern age if given enough polish and opportunity. So super high praise from Noisy Pixel there. And they mentioned a few things I've heard also, where it's like you want to explore, like it makes you want to go through the loop. And Metroidvanias, there's a lot of backtracking and accessing areas with new abilities that you couldn't access before, and it seems that Prince of Persia kind of pushes you to do that, and you really want to. Now, moving on to GameSpot, they also gave the game a 9 out of 10. They said Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is a sea change for the long-running series, and almost as dramatic a shift as Sands of Time was when it took the classic platformer series into 3D. This new genre debut is so confident and impeccably crafted that this should simply be the identity of Prince of Persia for the foreseeable future. Nearly every part of Prince of Persia: Lost Crown works so well, and the parts connect so seamlessly that it feels as if the series has found its new genre home. So, like I said before, a lot of people were kind of, turned off by this not being a 3D Prince of Persia game, but now it seems that people are saying, hey, this is the direction they should go. They should build upon this and keep it moving. Now we go to the 8 out of 10. So I got one here from Games Radar Plus. They said, I'd still recommend Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown to the Metroidvania heads among us, as well as long-standing Prince of Persia fans whose experience with the series stretches back to the late 80s, early 90s. For those wanting more in the same vein as 3D adventures like The Sands of Time, this ain't it, but it is a return to relative form for a series whose last mainline outing landed 14 years ago. It's just disappointing that this very good game was held back from true greatness. So there seems to be a few things that they'd say in the full review that they didn't like about the game, but they did say, if you're a fan of Metroidvanias, this is a game for you. And then if you're looking more for the 3D style, then definitely don't bother with the game. And then lastly, we're going to talk about the only mixed review on Metacritic. So this came from Inverse. They gave the game a 6 out of 10, believe it or not. And they said, in its combat and tricky platforming sections, The Lost Crown is mostly a blast. The problem is that it's surrounded by dull exploration, frequently underwhelming bosses, and enough small frustrations to keep it from greatness. Wow. I'm baffled at how little it dives into its unique frozen time premise, because the moments where it does are the best parts of the game. The Lost Crown's high points are enough to recommend it to anyone looking for a good action platformer, but if you want a game that scratches the itch for satisfying exploration, you may walk away disappointed. So this was very interesting from them to say, especially since all the things that they said they don't like about the game or the weak points of the game is what other people said were their strengths. So I think they may be the odd man out. Well, they are. They only one, the only mixed review on here, but yeah, everyone else said that they like the exploration. They said it really pulls you to do so. They said the boss design was great and the boss fights were great. So I don't know. It seems Inverse may have played a different game and thought it was Prince of Persia, but it's all good. Everyone's entitled to their opinions, and that was their opinion. So that pretty much does it, guys. Want to go through a few reviews for the first big release of 2024. We have a lot more games coming out this year, so please check out my most anticipated games of 2024 because this game was definitely on there. But with all that said, you guys let me know in the comment section below. Are you excited for this game? Are you picking it up? The demo is live if you guys want to play it, so definitely check it out. But besides that, make sure you do leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, click all the links in the description, and I appreciate it. Check out my other videos, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.